A very good day to you. Hope you had yourself an amazing Wednesday. It is the 18th of September 2024, 1900 East African time, and this is the Black Hot Fire Updates, Wednesday updates, where I'm here to tell you about each and everything that was making headlines in Africa, and of course, just keeping you on the know on each and everything and the news piece and anything that you should be knowing. I have news from all over. We're going to be looking especially at Nigeria with the Dangote setting up a few weeks ago. Dangote set up this oil refinery in Nigeria that is set to begin selling gasoline to Nigeria's domestic market now. So Nigeria is, of course, one of the biggest oil producers in Africa, but it has always been having a challenge of oil shortages for the longest because it always exports its oil. That was why Dangote refinery has begun selling gasoline domestically with state-owned NNPC, which is the company that this is the state company that deals with oil in Nigeria. Is the sole buyer. So Dangote will be selling to the government, and then the government will now have to find a way of delivering the same to the people. So what made me happy about this deal was several things. I said I don't care about Dangote's intentions or whatever, because of course he's a businessman, and for him to be getting into a business like this one, he has to be making money from it. He is a businessman. He's not doing it for philanthropy reasons. He's doing it to make money. But at the end of the day, even as he's doing it to make money, it ends up benefiting so many people in Nigeria because it's going to create, for example, employment opportunity for so many people. It's producing about 750,000 barrels a day. 650,000 barrels a day. It's also going to sort out Nigeria's oil fuel problem. It's not going to sort it fully, but now for the fact that they don't have to depend on imported oil, and despite the fact that imported gasoline, even though they produce gasoline, export it, then import it, now they can source it locally. Is that going to be cheaper? Of course, it is going to be cheaper. The production cost will have been cut down. It is going to be a bit cheaper than the cost of gasoline at the moment. And the cost of gasoline is tied to the cost of everything, because the cost of gasoline is the engine driver in the production chain. It is the one that is involved in production of electricity. It is the one, especially for a country like Nigeria. Nigeria does not have that good of an electricity coverage, and most people use generators in most homes. So now the price of gasoline going down, of course, is going to see production cost for manufacturers and corporations going down. That is going to have an effect on the price of goods and commodities in Nigeria, because the same is going to go down, which is beneficial to the people, because that now means from your from your income, the income that you could have, the money that you would have spent on maybe buying something, now you can save some money onto it. Apart from that, it's going to have the Nigerian naira strengthened. How is it going to have the Nigerian naira strengthened? And why is it important that Nigerian currency, the Nigerian naira, strengthens? Why is it important? It is important for the Nigerian naira to strengthen, because once it strengthens, and in a country like Nigeria, which is high importing, then that is going to reflect positively on Nigeria's economy. How is Dangote's refinery going to help Nigeria's naira strengthen even by a little bit? Well, I told you he's selling gasoline to NNPC. NNPC is the body in charge of uh, gasoline and fuel and other gasoline products in Nigeria. So NNPC is going to pay Dangote in US dollars September. However, beginning October, the crude for gasoline swap will be settled in Naira, in Nigerian Naira. So that means Nigeria will no longer have to panic look for dollars in order to import gasoline from outside, because that was what it had been doing, panic looking for USD in order to import gasoline. But now that it is going to be settled in Naira, then that means the demand for the dollar will go down by a little bit in Nigeria. And when the demand for something goes down, then that means its price also goes down.
its value goes down. So you're saying that
Yeah,
Nigeria now has decided to purchase its oil in Niger? Where's this oil from?
it's the same Nigerian oil that they had been
Okay,
exporting.
so they're oh, okay.
Exporting
So
to
are they? Okay, are they? Where? Okay, since
it's not
they're
even it's not the Nigerian government that has done that. It's the richest man in Africa, Aliko Dangote, who has
that golden,
set
but he's
up
just
oil
he's
refinery
but
in
he's
Nigeria.
yeah refiner, but they're not. They they've been keeping the oil away from him.
Yeah, they have been denying him. And I remember there was a time he would set up pipelines and they would get vandalized. But finally, he was able to set up that 650,000 barrel per day refinery. And I said, I know he's a businessman, so he has his own selfish reasons for setting up
Well, of
the
course,
refinery.
because why?
Of course, he wants
Of
to
course,
make
because it's
money.
beneficial. Of course, but I mean, it's still win-win for the country. You're gonna make
Yep,
money because
yep,
it wouldn't make sense. Why would I send my oil out
yeah,
of Nigeria to be refined and then fly back? What
yeah.
stupid shit is that? Only
I know
shit black
Dangote does not.
Africans.
I know Dangote does not care about, I don't know, the Nigerians not having enough fuel. He's a businessman. He's a billionaire, and for you to be there, you have to be shrewd and selfish at times. So he's probably
Not
setting
just
up.
shrewd. He's selfish and he's fucked up in the head. And
Yep.
nothing to do with. So yeah,
I would call it, so he's probably setting it up because he's going to make billions from it.
of
But
course, but
in making billions, he's helping
it's
the
still a
people.
win. It's
Yep.
still a win-win situation. And if you're
Yeah.
gonna make billions, it's
Yeah.
still a win-win situation for you
Yeah.
and the people of Nigeria, because then you can divide in your currency so it'll be cheaper. You're
Mm.
not dealing with the dollar, you know. So that's why they wanted to sabotage that, because you know that the puppets are being told by the white masses, you better make sure you sabotage this nigga. You want your
Yeah.
money? This hurts our money. You make sure this nigga don't open no damn refinery. You make sure if you do, you make sure you get no gas. Yes, white daddy. Yes, white daddy.
And
So
how I wish more African billionaires would be like Dangote, because what most African billionaires do is invest and store their wealth abroad. They
yeah,
invest in they invest in the UK, but at least
yeah,
forgetting to invest in
because they
Africa.
don't believe in African people. They've been told they raise the same thing. They believe African people are stupid and docile. They don't believe African work ethic. You gotta change the culture. They know they don't believe the African work ethic is worth any damn thing. They believe that Africans are lazy. They don't know how to do shit. If they do shit, they come to work late. They're drunk. They don't know how to. They steal off the job. They believe all that crazy shit.
That's very
But
ironic.
you could,
That's very
but
ironic when
you
coming
can.
from thieves, because most of them got got
They
their
stole the
billions
money.
from corruption. So it's
Yeah,
very ironic
yeah.
that
All their billions came from exactly came from the government. They haven't built shit. So unless you start from the top like a Kagame,
mm,
where corruption is not tolerated at all, if you can leave I tell you, you can leave your handbag at Administrative Rwanda and ain't nobody gonna touch it. Ain't nobody gonna steal it. Anybody it just be left there until you come back and get it. Because he created a culture that's not tolerated. That's how Africans used to be. If you'd have to be a dictator to teach you that, that was your nature. But
mm,
now since the Europeans have come in, their corruption has now become your corruption. Now you're scrambling for pennies when you're supposed to be scrambling for millions of dollars because you're still the richest continent on the planet. If you just do right, change the culture, go back to the school, change the culture. But that won't benefit your stealing. It will benefit the country. They take your country out of poverty. Change the culture. That corruption is not going to be tolerated at all. You're going to get a bullet in the head. Okay? It's going to be
because
China for a few years in here.
I agree with
Uh,
you in that we tolerate incompetence so much that
and
it
confidence too.
doesn't even
Well,
seem to affect us at all.
it won't be based on nepotism or that tribal shit. You hire somebody from your tribe, I'm gonna put a bullet in your head. Okay? It won't be based on no nepotism. He's my cousin. He's my brother. I'm gonna put a bullet in your head. Okay? You're gonna grow up as a society. All this childish shit, this nepotism and this tribal shit. You can't run a country like that. I'm sorry. So if I tell you this and you continue to do it, I'm gonna put a bullet in your head. Okay? I'm gonna do some. I hate to do it. I'm gonna do some ruthless Chinese shit. Chinese put bullets in people so they disappear you in China, and you're gonna be disappeared. Then you're gonna find yourself in a ditch, an unmarked grave, shallow unmarked grave. Where I'm gonna put you at. So because either you care about African people or either you don't. And if I find that you don't, then you gotta go. If you just care about you, we can't grow up caring about you and your family and your tribe. I don't give a fuck about your goofy tribe. Okay? I don't give a fuck about your. I want the confident people in there. And still think about that story the more you tell me with them dumbass news or whatever the fuck they were, Caligins, whatever. They didn't want the doctor who was a Kikuya. He's a Kikuya. What? He's an African. Is he qualified? No, to be the head of the school.
No,
Is
he's
he
not. He's not
qualified?
challenging. He's not challenging, so he's not. He's not qualified.
How crazy this cat shit? Is he? He's a Kikuya. What? Smack you in the mouth. I mean, you coming with that childish shit. I want to know, is he qualified to teach children? Is he qualified to be an administrator since he's now the principal? See, that's why African business don't work. This is business. That's your personal shit. Why you can't do business and everybody's got to bring in their own people because they can't work with you because you're still childlike in the head. And by the Chinese said, "Nah, I can't fuck with the African. I bring my own people up in here. I bring my own people." But you won't hire the best people. You're like, well, let me look for my cousin. Let me look for my tribal people. And so shit gets all dicked up. Like the most, and you're not hiring the most qualified, competent people. Because you still cotton 700 years ago tribalism shit that people had already got graduated from 1,000 years ago. You're still only people on the planet still talking that tribe shit. You know, nobody on the planet. He has a white person. Hey, what tribe you from? Motherfucker, I'm from Australia. What are you talking about? What tribe are you from in Australia? Huh?
And that cuts
You
and
can,
that cuts not just in tribes. I was seeing this conversation on Twitter today, where there was some, it also cuts even in the black community. There's so much division. For example, the black people in the diaspora thinking they are better than the black people in Africa, the black people in Jamaica thinking they are better than I don't know the black people where, and it all came from a certain discussion, a certain banter that we were having, and then a certain white. So the one who replied was an black American saying,
yeah.
talking about how black Americans are better than the Africans in Africa, and you can always tell the difference. And then whoever replied said, "Do you know who can't tell the difference?" And he put a picture of a white policeman. That is the one who can.
Exactly. You know,
And that,
can't tell the, because it's all divisional shit because of the ignorance. Like I told you, you got the ignorance in America too.
mm,
They want to divide from Africa. They say, oh, the Africans sold us into slavery and they never came. These sorry bastards helped the cracker. No, that's not true. Yeah, you had a few tribes that majority of Africans fought wars. They didn't just get their children away. Hey, cracker, come take my children into slavery. What are you talking about? That didn't happen. There were wars fought on that continent. So you feel it's the lack of understanding, knowing each other. Because the African Americans fought to get other Africans over here. They don't know that. When they go to the State Department to get a visa, the Africans are told to stay away from the African Americans. Oh, you stay away from them. They're fucked up. We're gonna let you in here. You stay away from them. So they're already causing division. And
yeah,
since Africans come from a tribal culture, it's easy for them because they see you as a different tribe. You've been to America, you don't know nothing about that tribal shit. You're like, what? Tribe? What are you talking about? What the fuck is a tribe? Why this cat acting weird around me? What's wrong with this motherfucker? We black, we both black. What's going on with you, man? Holler at me. He's like, you don't know he's been told to stay away from you by the white man. He's scared he's going to be going back to the poor village in Africa. So it's a lack of understanding. Shout out to some Africans who come over here, second generations, have learned that and understand that. That's where it comes from. Their parents were told, stay away from the black Americans. If you don't, we're going to put your ass back to Kenya, back to Nigeria, back to Ghana, where the fuck you come from. Zambia, Zimbabwe. We're going to get your ass up out of here. They're not going to be there. They're going to give you a visa. I'm going to be a revolutionary when I get to America. I'm going to link it with my black brothers and fight for justice. He said, you going to do what? Your visa is denied, nigga. Denied, denied, denied. You're going to get stamped 3 times. Denied, denied, denied. So, a lot of African Americans understand it. They're not going to let no revolutionary over here to fight with you. To help you fight, overthrow this cracker in this white supremacist state. A lot of them don't even been taught what white supremacy is in Africa. So they come in contact with it. So they don't even. So it's a miseducation on both parts. And so that's what you're dealing with. African Americans all mad. Why this African ain't saying nothing to me? What's going on, man? How you doing? He been told to stay away from your ass, stupid. So you don't understand that. So you feel a certain type of way. You feel salty. You goddamn Africans come over here, don't even talk to me and shit. What is wrong? I fought to get you over here. They don't know you fought to change the damn immigration to get African people over here. They don't know that. So, and you don't know what they've been told before they get over here. So you got to understand. That's the misunderstanding. But if you draw some understanding and realize you're really the same people, and who benefits from you, go back to always ask us, who benefits from your separation? White people don't separate for nothing. The same Australian agrees with the same cracker in goddamn South Africa, same cracker in America, same cracker in England, France, and Germany, wherever you find them. They're all united against us. Even when we were trying to free South Africa, you know what all them crackers did all around the world? Say, you better not free them niggas. All of them. America sponsored apartheid in South Africa. The government did. Not the black American people we to get them free. But all white people fight for your oppression. It's only black people that seem to don't understand that and be divided. When I was talking to you that Monday, when I was leaving Houston, I was talking to those guys saying the same thing because they're being gentrified with these illegal aliens coming in, these Venezuelans that they're bringing in here. Those guys were day laborers doing the work I needed them to do. He said, you know what affects us, the black people? We don't got those jobs no more. We can't afford to live. We can't afford. And he said, because he asked where I was from. I said, I'm originally from California. He said, yeah, and all these California motherfuckers moving over here, buying them homes. We can't afford those homes. I said, I don't live in California no more. I couldn't afford to live in that bitch. I live in Florida. Yeah, but still, it's a bunch of California motherfuckers moving here. I said, I know. They can't afford the houses out there. Yeah, but they come here and raise our damn rents and shit, buying shit up. We can't afford shit now. I know. That's how gentrification works. I get it. So, but this is that. You gotta stop thinking. That's the problem with
I think
African people. Somebody, you think you better. You can't be better, African people. You're on the same slave ship. Everybody black is on the same slave ship. It's called the white supremacist ship of misery. We're all on it. So you can't say I got a better seat on the slave ship because we're all oppressed by white supremacy. We're all oppressed. We're all in the fucked slave ship globally. That's why whenever you go around the world, you'll see black people what? Fucked up. We're on the bottom. I've been around the world. What do you know? Black people in America are on the bottom. Black people in Jamaica on the bottom. Black people in Haiti on the bottom. Black people in Brazil on the bottom. Black people in South Africa on the bottom. Everywhere you go on the bottom. That's designed. That's the racial pyramid scheme. That this white man is designed to go. He said why? Because they're afraid of their genetic annihilation. They are the weaker gene. Black people survive everything. They don't. They are a small minority on the planet. You're the majority. So they're scared you're going to wipe them out genetically. That's,
And I think you
you know,
understand how
and you're dealing with
dangerous
a
it is.
savage too.
I think
Also,
you understand how dangerous it is when it will be, and it is when the black community abroad in the diaspora and the black and the now the black community in Africa unite. Like Gamma, it was Gamma, was it Pio Gamma Pinto who was calling for the unification of the black community abroad, the black community in the diaspora, and the Africans now in Africa, because that at that moment now, when that unity comes and it's fully done, now we stop with the divisions and the thinking that we are better than those ones and those ones
you
have,
go
you
back,
know.
you go,
Yeah,
you go back to the top. You wipe out white supremacy. You got you. That's why everything is designed to make sure you don't be unified. Why they try to kill you if you get leader. That's why they try. If you try to unite Africa, that's why they try to kill you because your
now,
unification
mm,
puts you back in power.
now the problem is we have that, we still have that division that is very unnecessary of the black, African Americans looking down on the Africans in Africa, thinking that, you know, the way you look down on your poor cousin, yeah, like that. And the Africans in Africa
Nah,
looking
nah,
the
nah. It goes both ways. The Africans
yeah, yeah, it goes
look down
both
on
ways.
Black
That
America.
is what I'm saying. And the Africans in Africa looking at the African Americans, like I had a conversation of them saying the problem with African Americans is that they have no culture, and that's, you know,
Yeah,
some
and and,
now
and,
they now
and that
they
becomes and that
them
becomes funny.
African
Like
Americans
that
as
becomes
people who
and
don't
that
have
be,
a culture.
and that becomes funny because the African American culture is the culture of the planet. That's how ignorant you are. The culture of African Americans is the main majority culture on the planet. It's a super culture. It is the culture of the planet. That's what makes it absolutely funny and crazy for our cameras. I said, do you know the African American culture is a super culture on the planet? What? No culture. Then that's when you got to people out like what? That's why I use that white guy. African American culture is the superpower on the planet. That's a fact. Everything else is a super culture. Is the culture of the planet. But you go American culture, American culture. Culture of America is not white people. It's
Yeah, so
African
that now,
American culture. And
Keith,
that's the
that
number
now
one
comes
culture on the
down.
planet. Go ahead.
You know, now what was happening? You and Kamlesh were arguing
Now what?
semantics, because now you have to look at what does culture
You
mean
said what
in
now?
Africa. I'm saying you and Kamlesh were actually discussing semantics when he was saying that the African Americans do not have a culture. He was just saying the stereotype that is there of Africans in Africa believing African Americans do not have a culture. And you have to, before you get even to that, you have to understand what does culture mean. When we say culture, what do we mean by culture? And by culture, we mean like customs, ideas, behaviors, social behaviors of a particular people.
Customs and traditions.
Yeah, by culture we mean
Traditions
customs, and kids, I can't get you. I think your network is bad. I don't know if it's yours or mine, but I can't hear. Kids, I can't hear you. I don't know if it's your network. Oh, I think it's mine. You can go on. Okay, I lost Keith. So now it's a question of semantics on what does culture mean, because culture means customs. To me, it means customs and social behaviors that a certain group portray collectively. It has to be collective. The word is collective. So that was why there's that stereotype, and that stereotype is what causes the division, because African Americans think Africans are ignorant, stupid. Sometimes they think we're stupid, and it's a stereotype that has been there, that has been implanted into so deep, and that is why there's always that division where you find that the African Americans are going to talk down, for example, on the Africans who live in Africa, and the Africans who live in Africa think that the African Americans do not even have a culture, and that brings in division. And who benefits from the division? The people who would be most affected if the unity was there. And I think Keith is back. Your network is really, really
All
messed up.
right, so get me now. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
You
you are,
said,
I was saying the most
what is culture?
fundamental question is what is culture? And culture is customs and that a community portrays collectively. So when you say the black
Exactly.
American,
Okay, so let me,
the African
so,
American is the most. So
so
what culture are you talking about? What are those customs
we,
that you
I'm,
portray that?
I'm about to tell you, we're the most, that's what you got, everybody say that's the ignorance that Africans have for not understanding the culture of America, Black America.
Yeah,
We
break it
have the
down.
most
Break it down.
consistent culture. I'm about to
Break
tell you,
it
we got the
down.
most consistent culture. I'm about to tell you, we got the most consistent culture. Africans don't. You guys got colonized 120 years ago. Your culture is the cracker. That's what people get mad when I go on TikTok and Twitter. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you don't got any culture. Your culture was the
No,
white
no,
man. He colonized you. So let me
Keith,
finish. So let me
yeah,
let me
your
tell you.
culture. If you break it down, like what are some of the
All
cultures
right.
and customs
Okay.
that you?
The culture of Black America. Okay.
Mm.
And that was the other bypass. Um, culture. Okay. It's so damn. It's so bad. It's so much. Okay. Culture would be our tradition. So every Sunday we would have family dinner. That's a culture. Okay. So we would have certain dishes that were only subscribed to Black American culture that we got from being enslaved. So that would be called soul food. You can look that up. That's global. They do it around the world. So soul food cooking, that's what I'm gonna put in the restaurant. That's what William asked me to do down in Tanzania. That's known. That cooking is known around the world.
Mm.
Then we're talking about the culture of music. So our music, through our pain, we created what we call blues, country, jazz, rock and roll, R&B, hip hop, funk. Okay, that's just the music side. Dance, all the dances. I can't name all the goofy dances. So then we're talking about the culture we have. I was gonna send. God, you read on time. I was gonna send you and Canvas this thing about what happens, and I want you to look this up. So part of our culture is when we go to college, it's only specific to, even though white people now copied it. Now that you guys got decent music in Africa, but now you're producing good music. You gotta say
Because
most of our. Go ahead, go ahead.
one thing that is one thing that is for sure, Keith, is even though Africa was colonized and most of the culture was washed away, I still don't think you people have more. We still more culturally deep, because in Africa everything is cultural. Even at the moment, even after the colonization, even right now, everything
Oh,
goes down.
you guys are tribal, but you don't have your culture.
No, Keith, I said cultural. I know what I'm saying when I say cultural.
Okay.
You ask Joby how she grew up, she's going to tell you some of the things they used to do, and our culture goes down into religion, not the Christianity. Don't get me with the
Those
Christianity.
are Christianity because we got the same
Yeah,
Christian shit you got.
yeah, we
Same
still have the,
exactly.
no. I'm not talking about Christianity, kids. I'm saying
Okay.
in Africa, culture is still so deep. We still have taboos that we can do. Culture is still so deep, deep, deep in Africa. In most communities, in my community, culture is deep. Culture is deep in my community. That is why, for example, before my sister gets married, there's so much that is going to happen before that happens. The old men are going to meet. They are going to
But
drink.
that still happens in Black America. I mean, that still
No,
happens here. The
yeah,
men get, yes, that still happens. Go ahead.
I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying is, comparatively, culture in Africa is deeper than it is in the in
I don't see it. I've been throughout Africa. I don't
no, no,
see it.
it's
I don't see it. I don't
we've
see
been
it.
through, we've lived through. You've been through, we've lived through. There's a difference.
I haven't lived. I haven't lived.
No, no, no. You've been through,
Being,
we've lived through.
being an
No,
anthropologist, Demore, I don't have
Kiluka,
to live it. I just be.
no,
I keep my mouth shut and I just observe.
nah,
I be anthropologist. There's no.
you
You
can't.
can't.
There's a
There's no
difference between
continuous. There's no
visiting a
con.
country for a week and living in a
No, I'm
country
not
for
talking about. I
a
know. I know. I get
yeah,
that. I know that. But
yeah,
there's no
yeah.
continuous culture you guys
There
have.
is
You guys.
culture in Africa. Culture is deep in Africa.
Tell me. Where's the
You look
condition?
at
No, it's not. And you can't tell me it's not because
culture
the
is
culture,
deep in
the
Africa, kid.
the,
Listen, culture is deep.
the culture, the culture's all
Let me for
the
example tell
culture's
you about the culture in my what happens is
good.
you people the
Good.
African Americans have a collective culture. You have
Of
a
course,
collective
go ahead.
culture. For
Yeah,
us,
because we were
yeah, for us, the culture is different according to the different tribes, which is not wrong. It's a good thing.
exactly no, no, no,
Diversity.
that's not
No,
wrong at
no, no,
all.
no,
That's
no,
not
no.
wrong.
No,
That's not wrong. I
diversity
ain't
is
say that.
diversity is okay.
I didn't say
Yeah.
that
So
was wrong.
for example, in for me in the Kikuyu community, when you are born, the moment you born, women have to do. There are so many things that have to be done. When a boy is born, for example, a boy is born, women have to ululate 5 times. That is to indicate a boy has been born. You go into
That,
circumcision. Circumcision is a deep cultural thing in Africa, unlike in African American, where it's just a medical type of thing. You just go to the hospital and it's done. For us, we circumcision lasts for about a month. It's cultural. It's almost like you reconnecting with your ancestors. We still don't drink liquor without pouring alcohol to the ground for our ancestors. You look at the
hey, wait, think
Jawa.
that, that's done in America too. You
Yeah,
think about.
I'm not disputing that.
So,
I'm not disputing it. What I'm saying
you
is
name
the
it.
analogy
You
that
name it the
the
same. You
analogy.
name it
What
the
I'm saying,
same shit. Nah,
no,
you
I'm
didn't
not
know that happened.
disputing
That
that at all.
they pour out the liquor. It's called pour out the liquor for
Okay.
the ancestors that are not here
Yeah,
with us.
I'm not
Or the,
disputing that at all. What I'm saying is the stereotype, the belief that culture in Africa died with colonialism
I'm not saying it didn't die. I'm
it
saying,
got
but
washed.
it's
It
not
got
continuous.
but
It's
didn't
not
die.
continuous. It's whitewashed. It's continuous. It's not
It,
continuous, Demore. It's not
it's still there. It's
continuous.
still there deeply. It's still there deeply, and there we still have. I took you guys to Mount Kenya the other day on a show, and you saw those old men still
I did.
praying. Uh,
Yeah.
Still praying. They don't believe in Christianity at all. They pray to Ngai, who they believe is the god of the
Yeah.
mountain.
In the mount. Yeah. I know. Good
Yeah,
for
and
them.
people
So
are
they
then
continue.
asking, what is the benefit of circumcision? Is it health related or is it only a cultural belief? In Africa, they don't do it for health purposes at all. They do it for cultural belief. For example, we believe that when you're getting circumcised, the blood that you shed is now a tie between you and your ancestors. That is why the blood spills on the ground. So
The
it's still
reason
cultural in a
eh,
big
I
way.
know, but you gotta understand the white man stole that and he made
No,
that normal because that's the stealing
no,
of
he didn't.
African culture.
No, he
That's the
didn't.
stealing of
No, 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 he
what?
didn't. He didn't steal anything to do with circumcision. He didn't. If he did,
Circumcision starts in Africa. He did steal. What are you talking about? That's African culture. What are you talking about?
no, no. I heard you say that he stole the culture of circumcision from us, and
He
now we do
did.
it. No, I thought you say. I get what you're saying now. I thought you were saying that he stole that culture, and now we don't do it the way we
No,
used to do it. Yeah,
not you.
no, I
No,
get.
he stole that culture and incorporated. Since white
Yeah,
people never had culture, he took
yeah,
that
that.
and incorporated into his own psyche. Demore.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah. I get.
that's why it's in his goopy Bible.
Mm,
They yeah, the white man didn't never have culture. So everything he conquered, he would assimilate other people's culture
yeah,
into his own. So that's what I'm talking about. So that's
yeah, yeah.
why
I
it's
get that.
done.
Yeah,
Um, see, you guys not knowing, not really knowing, having the education or the looking into African American culture, you wouldn't know what that culture is. You guys
yeah,
wouldn't know. You guys would just say, "Oh, they don't have culture." Our culture goes back 500 years.
yeah,
500 years of culture. So we're talking about the same things that you thought they lost from Africa, they brought over here. Still, that same culture exists. Especially when you go down to Brazil. I'm gonna say there's no place, even in America, there's no place I've ever been that's more African than fucking Northeast Brazil. I've heard that from many people on the planet. No place on the planet have I seen more African than Northeast Brazil, especially in San Angelo. I mean, San damn, whatever the name of the city, I can't remember. But no place I've ever seen has been more African than that city. No place. From Kenya to Nigeria to South Africa, no place. And other Africans have said that when they go, your Africans living over there now. They'll tell you the same thing I said when I went there. I've never seen no African place in Africa more African than that place in Northeast Brazil.
Mm.
Ever. The traditions, everything was kept. You're like, God damn, am I in Africa? Where the fuck am I at? Am I in Africa? So fucking where? It's crazy.
So
But
most of these things
go,
kid as stereotypes. For example, us believing that African Americans don't have a culture, that's not true. African Americans believing that Africans in Africa are lesser than they are because that's what happens. They look down on Africans in Africa, they, which is also not. We've just not been as exposed as you guys have, and you know, exposure is everything. So
exactly. Now you understand exposure.
exposure,
Exactly. Exposure.
exposure that, yeah. So now most all of those things are just stereotypes and beliefs that have been made to cause a division, because as Pioga Mapinto was saying, the day that the Africans in the diaspora and the Africans in Africa unite, then they are going to be unstoppable, and they murdered him for that. He was shot on the same day.
And
He was shot in.
that's why you see all this division on TikTok and Twitter. That's a sap. Somebody is pushing that all of a sudden now. Now the Africans are waking up on the continent. Now you see all this division all of a sudden.
Because
Because
I
10
told you
years
the
ago,
debate was who's better between the Africans in Africa and the Africans in America. And just somebody just told them, do you know who doesn't see the difference between you two? And he put on a picture of a
that's
white
right. And
he
that's
does not
true
know
because
whether you're from
because that
Nigeria
convers
or you're from wherever you're from.
because that conversation is stupid.
Yep.
That's what's been that conversation. You don't have white people saying who's the better white person, the one from
Yep.
Australia or America or from England. They don't say no stupid shit like that because they believe they one people. You'll never
Yeah,
know. You'll never know. There's only black people talking about who's the better African. Motherfucker, we all fucked up. We're on the bottom. So there's no better African. That's a dumbass argument. So
yeah,
I never bring that up because I never believe I was better than any other African people, whether because it had nothing to do with how much money I was making because we're still on the same slave ship. We're still all being oppressed by white supremacy.
yeah.
White supremacy still controls Africa, can still controls us here in America. So
And that,
the idea that there's a better African, it to
yeah.
me was always stupid. Like the South Africans hating on all the Africans. I thought that what? Are you people crazy? You know how fucked up you are in South Africa, but you say you better than other Africans? Are you crazy? But so I never found, the benefit said I'm a better African than you. You know, and you know, like a motherfucker supposed to be like when I met these Africans years ago when I was in college. You was enslaved. Are you supposed to shame me with that? That motherfucker we the Africans that lived through slavery and still dominated the planet. What? Still dominate everything that we do. Are you supposed to shame me with that? That we were when we were taken from our homes. You trying to make me feel bad about that? You
Yeah,
trying to
you're
shame me with that?
yeah.
Shit. You
And as we
can't
come
shame me
as we
with that.
as we come to the end of the show, a big shout out to Jiba Jaba who's been with me, and he's saying small hearts circumcised for enhanced sexual pleasure, not for a connection with ancestors. He goes on to say that we are all behind enemy lines. We can all argue as much as you want on who has the better culture, who is more stupid, who is
And
more.
that's what drives me crazy with African people. I don't give a fuck about your goofy culture. Your culture has not fight the white man. We ain't beat the white man. So our culture's all fucked up, all of it. Because we ain't won no wars. When the last war the African won over this cracker?
I
When does
think
that
it goes
happen?
yeah, what we can do is try and deconstruct those beliefs and stereotypes that they try to put on us. For example, the stereotype that African Americans don't have a culture, that's a lie. The stereotype that Africans in Africa are
Yeah, that's the
less
stereotype that makes them angry.
tell you
African
the average
Americans
IQ. That's why I tell you the average IQ in Gambia is 51. So
in
that
the
they make you think that the Africans in
get it
Africa are mentally incapacitated, because for you to have an IQ of 51, you are mentally
exactly.
incapacitated.
And that's
Now,
and that's an
that is
IQ test based on white people shit. It's not valid. It's
mm,
not valid.
yeah. And so as I
That's what
come to
white
the end,
people say. It's not valid.
let me allow
It's not
Joby to set
valid.
up. Let me allow Joby to set up a show.
So and hold on. Joe, where's Joby at? In the back room?
Now she's here.
Oh, hold on for a second. We got like 5 minutes. Hold on. So
Mm,
um, it's the misunderstanding that white people have given African people globally that pit you against each other. That's why you got the island Negroes to fight against the Aspens in the United States. United States to fight with the island Negroes, and then they fight with the Africans on the goddamn continent because it's all based in misunderstanding. So we're all raised in ignorance. So before you say something, I'm not gonna say, oh, the Africans don't have no culture. I'm not gonna say nothing derogatory when I don't know shit. So the first thing you should do, don't say shit until you learn some shit. Best thing I've always told you, keep your mouth shut when you don't know anything. Told you, whenever I go to countries, I shut my mouth and I just be quiet and observe. Because I don't, first of all, I don't want people to know I'm an American because they want some money then. Hey, brother, they got some money. So I keep my mouth shut because the myth is that all Americans have money. So that's the first thing I do. Let me keep my mouth shut. I just go, I just wave my hand. Mm-hmm. So, so, so they won't know I'm an American yet. They won't, they'll get to acting funny with you. So sometimes shut your mouth until you have enough information to know what the fuck you're talking about so you won't be offensive. I try my best not to go in other people's culture and disrespect them and be offensive by just observing and keeping my mouth shut. So I just, keep my mouth shut. I can't say, well, it got no culture. No, I'm not going to say no shit like that. I'm not going to say, because I know that's going to be offensive to somebody and they're going to want to come back at me.
yeah.
So I just, I'm not going to do nothing that's going to be um, hurtful. I don't believe in hurting other Africans until you jump out the box. And I'm the smart motherfucker. I'll bust you all upside your motherfucking head, mouth, back. Because I know most black people are stupid. And when I get this work, I'm gonna take your whole heart out your chest.
I actually
I'm gonna
saw
destroy. Go ahead.
on that, I saw some. I was reading an analogy from Buddha. Buddha said Buddha learned so many things from Africa, right? Siddhartha Gautama, who
Buddha is African. It's nothing but all the religions, Demore, are nothing but Africans. Buddha was black, Demore. He didn't that he
that's
just learned from Africa. He was that fake when they tell you about this Indian guy. That's a lie. You go look at all you gotta do is just say images. Put us up real quick, Demore. Put us up real quick.
okay.
Say images of black Buddha. Pull that up. So all these teachings, the
But I
Africans took.
was saying I was reading into his analogy on he talked about the four noble truths and everything, and so he talked about the three gates that you should, before you speak, you should have your words pass through the three gates, and that is what you are just talking about. And so the three gates he said was, the first gate is it true, the second one is it necessary, and the last one is it kind. So before you say
Yeah,
anything, you pass it through
yeah.
the three gates, those three
And all
gates.
that is that's African wisdom, not no fucking Buddha anyway. Buddha was African. All those teachers came from Africa. Exactly.
Yeah.
Why are you saying what is the benefit of you saying this? Is it to be hurtful? Is it
Mm.
kind? Why are you saying this? What benefit is you to be hurtful to somebody? You should know you tell somebody everybody has a form of culture. To say that is stupid. Everybody has a form of culture. You just don't know it. So before you open your mouth, take
Mm.
time to say, what is your culture? Be quiet and learn. Shut up.
Indulge me.
Yeah,
Sit down.
indulge.
Yeah.
Yeah, be quiet. That's why whenever I go place, I shut my mouth. I don't know what the fuck is going on tomorrow. I can't be the authority. I don't know shit. I'm in they culture tomorrow. I can't come in and just telling people how they do shit. Hey, you shut up. I got
Jiba
then
Joba,
I hit
Jiba Joba
what
is
he
telling
say?
me. Jiba Joba is telling me, don't get Juby mad. She won't make you any more of that good chicken.
so,
Yeah.
all,
Let's wrap up.
so all, yeah, so all these so you see the black Buddha? It's just the images of black
Yeah,
Buddha.
yeah. Let me share the images. I just saw
Yeah, these are the
the
original
Buddha is
Buddhists. It's all
the Buddha
all
is
it
more
is.
the Buddha is more dark skinned than I am.
He's darker than you. The original Buddha is black. Yeah, original Buddhists are black. All that was taking African spirituality, but these people are less. They made it into a religion. They made the spirituality into a Christian religion, an Islam religion, a Buddhism religion, a Hindu for the Indians. It's all from African science, Demore. The African took it around the world and tried to teach these lesser people about how reality really works. They took those teachings, of course, they put their face on, like they make a white Jesus, a white Allah, a white Buddha, Indian Buddha. At least they took the teachings and made them human beings. But that just Buddhism is just African spirituality. That's all it is. So that's why when you study religion, you'll say, hey, this shit seems all the same because it is. That Buddhism is like Christianity. Christianity is like Islam. Hinduism is like Judaism.
I actually
Yeah.
think I actually think
Good.
Buddhism, if you look at it, is one of the deepest, most knowledgeable pieces of writings you can ever get. It's deep and no fairy tales in that thing. It's just pure wisdom.
Well, yeah, but they
Yeah.
did kind of make some fairy tales in there. Tell you this guy became the Buddha, this Indian motherfucker
He
before
was
Jesus.
sitting
I think he
he was
left.
sitting under he was sitting under a tree and then he got
You
the
thinking that?
enlightenment.
Yeah, they got lighted in the tree because first he was a Hindu, and so he went to learn underneath a tree. He sat his ass in a tree for like 30 years or some crazy shit. Whatever. So, but
Some
those
white woman
teachers they
told
made it to a
Jibajaba that
religion.
those are seashells all over his
Uh,
head. Some white woman told Jibajaba that those are seashells that are all over the Buddha's head, and he said, "Okay,
cliche. Yeah, those are goddamn black people's hair. Exactly.
ah,
Yes, how they do. Yeah, they know Buddha's black. All these religions from Hindu. That's why Hindu religion created your goddamn Judaism. It was called Brahmanism. Abram becomes Abraham. See, if you go back linguistically, you can trace it all the way back, and then it goes back to Africa. So they take Hinduism and start creating these goofy other three religions from Christianity. First it was Judaism, Christianity, then Islam. That's why Brahma becomes Abram, and then Abram becomes Abraham. That's where it comes from. And you can easily trace that back linguistically. That can be proven scientifically. But people get mad at you, because your religion is made up. It's all African spirituality that you've stolen and made goofy characters from. You weren't supposed to be worshiping shit. As the Buddha doesn't worship anything, he tells you got to go inside. Because that's the religion. They still turn the shit into a religion because they worship this Buddha motherfucker. You're supposed to go inside and know God is within you. That's what Buddha was doing. That's what Jesus was telling you. It's all the same teachings. Okay? But it came from Africa. It's African spirituality. That's where it comes from. Okay? It's not a religion. These are practices of raising your vibration and getting righteous with the Creator. You're not supposed to worship the Creator. The Creator doesn't need your worship. Why the fuck would a damn infinite being need your goddamn worship? What could you give it? What could you take away from it? Doesn't mean any goddamn thing. Nothing. Creator doesn't need your worship. Oh, Jesus, oh Lord, I love you. I love. And what? Give a shit. The Creator don't give a shit about that.
And as
They
we
know
come to
you think.
the end of the show, uh,
Yeah,
we are going to continue with this conversation tomorrow so that I allow Joby to set up
that's
his
good.
mic.
Let Joby come on in.
Yeah,
See,
so a big shout out to everybody for tuning in.
Joby
See
hasn't
you
been
tomorrow.
praying right to Jesus. That's why our stomach's fucked up. He didn't know that acidic food.
A big shout out to Jiba Jab and everybody else who was with me. Much love, family. See you
That's not now. Now, the more it gets to go home to his fat